Should we welcome all those in attendance?
We're good.
We're good? All right, we will officially open up the Drainage Board meeting for June. And we'll start off with the acceptance of the minutes from the May meeting. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to accept.
We have a motion to accept.
Second.
And we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Next up, we have the surveyor's report.
So
And
first on the agenda was the,
Stormwater approval for
Stormwater.
Steve.
I was gonna let the surveyor bring that up. So it's not the report, it's the stormwater. Go ahead, Ed.
Okay. Which stormwater approval are we doing first?
Stormy Ridge.
Okay, Stormy Ridge Metals. This is a group that went through rezoning a couple months ago.
That roofing contractor down in
Yes.
Southern Randolph County.
Yeah, and they've, like I say, they've come in with their plan. It's a workable plan. He bought the whole farm, so it'd be very hard for him to mess up his neighbors. But it's well put together.
Good.
So I recommend it.
Okay, we heard a recommendation on, what's the name of it for the record?
Stormy Ridge.
Metalworking.
Stormy Ridge, let me see if I can read it. Stormwater site plan approval for Stormy Ridge metal roofing is recommended by the county surveyor. So I'd make a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
I thought he was coming.
Okay, this is the encroachment, all right. Second thing on our list of to-do list today is a encroachment permit. The Tyler Lewis and his brother are wanting to put a hay storage facility on the backside of their barn, which will put them 25 foot from the edge of the open ditch. We've got access from the backside of it. There's no issue with this. They keep this lot. Okay, I've never had to send anybody onto that farm, if that tells you anything. They do a good job with it. It'll be fine. It's going to be one of these, I don't know how to describe it. You set two shipping containers 40 feet apart and it's a hoop barn arch between them. And they're going to use it for hay storage. They got hay stacked everywhere.
Okay. And this is who?
Tyler Lewis, down at the corner of Arba Pike and 500 South.
So they're asking us to approve an easement,
But they're approved, yeah, an encroachment on the legal drainage easement, yes.
and you don't have any problem with
I
that?
have no problem with it at all.
Is that little creek, is it ever overflow?
Yes.
They're aware of what it does.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets full, but it's where on them, the banks are, they used to pasture this lot, so the banks are wider than normal anyway. And like I say, they're well aware of what goes on there. What they're building is something that's, the whole thing's portable. But like I say, we've got access to the ditch from the backside. And actually beside it, they have a lake. And the dam on the lake actually is the bank to the stream. We're not going to talk about all of that from 40 years ago.
Technically, it's not permanent storage.
What's that?
I said technically, it's not permanent storage what they're building,
Right.
with how they're building it. I'll move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve,
Second.
and we have a second. This is for the encroachment on the stormwater drain by the Lewis, right?
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay. What else?
Do we have anything else?
Yep, pond for
Oh, yes.
open arms.
Yeah, this pond, the pond project for the Open Arms Center out south of town. They've met with their contractor, and like I say,
This is the sprinkler pump.
yeah,
Everything good there?
yeah, it's gonna be fine. They, he was going to get me a more detailed picture, but basically drew a block about where it's gonna be, and there's no problem with it. And talked to the gentleman, they were digging test holes when I went out to do the site visit.
100 by 200.
Yeah.
15 feet deep. They probably got that from an engineer, how much water volume they had to have.
Yeah,
And on the drainage board of it, you're just certifying that it's in the right spot.
I'm
Slide
basically,
gets a perk.
what we certify is that it's not going to bother a next door neighbor.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
we are not in charge of worrying about whether it fills or not.
Just it doesn't encroach on
If,
somebody.
it's just to make sure they don't encroach on somebody else or back up on somebody else or cause trouble on somebody else, like a discussion we're gonna have shortly.
Yeah, so we as the board, we are approving this,
Just approving the site plan,
we're
yes.
approving the site plan from recommendation from the surveyor. Okay, we have the site plan on the pond, sprinkler pond for Open Arms House of Worship, and it is recommended by our surveyor to continue, correct? We have a motion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve, we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Next.
Okay, I've got two more items, and the one, my luck, I didn't bring the picture. We have out in our general neighborhood, we've got some people who approached us about replacing a main tile on the Restore Thornburg ditch. And, it's going to be about a $350,000 project if they go forward with it. At this point, we are not to the point of petitions or anything yet. I'm supposed to have a site visit with this guy either this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. We'll get to that point. There's basically 5 farmers involved, 4 or 5 farmers involved. I'll let you know when we need to know more, but that's coming. The other thing we've got to look at is I spent a little quality time with the pond out there by the armory and made a site visit out there. Actually been out there a couple times. I was out there Friday, I think it was the last time. He's got an extreme growth of cattails and willows planted around his overflow. Cattails are basically an invasive species. I don't know if they're legally invasive or not, but I understand why he's done what he's done. Doesn't make it okay. At this point, water is flowing where it's supposed to. It's not going to forever because cattails will plug up anything. I'm honestly surprised that the previous owner didn't try this because he was having trouble with his fish. He stocked the pond with leaving every time it rained. And this eliminates that. They're not going anywhere. The golf course is not affected, period. Thing could fill up to the road, it's not going to affect the golf course. The people that own the property directly south of the pond are going to be affected eventually. My son makes hay on that property, and he said it's the last place he can mow because the water's so high up most of the time. If it rains, it's the last place you can get into. Those two people need to talk to each other. I don't feel like there's anything for us to do at this point. It is on private property. Our predecessors vacated that whole section.
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
What do you mean by that?
They vacated, they did away with the county ditch. They had done away with it for the golf course project. And then they done away with it
I mean
from
the actual golf course itself, not
the
the.
golf course itself. All those drains are vacated.
Okay.
And then when this guy built this pond, he had to vacate that, it's vacated clear to Huntsville Road.
So you're talking Peterson did that?
Yes. Ederson did that.
Well,
And
the drainage board had to let it happen, didn't it?
Yep.
drainage, bo- the drainage board, we had a hearing over this
Okay.
after I started. This all got done before I started.
Yeah, okay.
After I started, at the advice of our attorney at the time, we had a hearing about it. And they decided, let's give it some time. 5 years, not long enough, you know. Anyway, that's where it landed, and the problems that are there have always been there. And this guy bought it. This guy bought the property in good faith. He didn't start this with letting the invasive stuff grow around there. He's not helping it, but I'm not going.
Cattails are invasive,
What's it? They are if you're trying to make water go somewhere.
Yeah,
but they're not invasive. They're not invasive to Indiana. They're just invasive to wetlands.
They're just right. They're a great wetland creator. So there are people that love them. The half acre of thistles he's got growing on the property is a whole nother story.
There's still a thistle law.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
And there's also a mowing law in the city of Winchester, which he is. That's between the town and the trustee and him.
Correct.
It's not our
No,
call.
it's-
But
Can I ask you, and maybe it didn't sink in, all Salt Creek, that's Salt Creek there?
Mhm.
It goes back.
no, that goes into Sugar Creek.
That goes Sugar Creek?
Salt Creek is the non-county drain that runs through the middle of town.
Oh, okay. But this particular drainage that fills the pond comes from behind the gas light addition.
It goes to there, yes.
It's going that way and
Yes.
flow?
This water flows from south to north.
Okay.
And it goes when it goes under
40.
the Huntsville Road,
Mhm.
the city installed storm drains all along the east side of this thing about 15 years ago. And that took care of the flooding that this pond caused on that side of the road. There's roughly a half acre that Phil Gordon loses. He's chose not to pursue anything toward redeeming that. It takes, half acre, not worth spending $100,000 for. Now, I have nothing left. Yeah, they say this thing, just, it is what it is. I'm not thrilled about it, but I really don't, I don't see anything to go after to do here at this point.
You can't
Miss
even
Yett.
just take the cattails out and open that up. I mean, he's gone down there and taken some of them, and it is flowing much better than what it was.
I,
Larry Wiley,
it's his to do.
Right.
And that's what to me, the treatment is to take the cattails out. You've got to dig them out because they're a tuber type plant. You got to dig out the roots or they keep
Right.
coming back.
Yeah, they definitely do.
And now they are started growing in the rock overflow channel. They're filling it up
That's
too.
all he's wanting cleared out, is that rock overflow.
Who?
Larry Riley, that's what he wants filled out, is those dug out, is those cattails down
The
in
owner?
there. Yes.
Why don't he pay for it? It's his.
Well, he didn't create
But they're still his. I mean, you buy a
Yeah,
property, it's
but-
still yours.
but he didn't create any of this stuff coming, it's
Now,
gotten
did he,
worse.
where
Can I just
did
finish
the cattails
one
come
thing?
from?
This has gotten worse and worse. If you see on that drone, it was never like that. We built our house 18 years ago. We never saw that. I think building the wedding venue didn't help any because it kind of needs to come in, but it's coming from the fruit farm somewhere. I'd have to, go further to that side and further south. But this hasn't been going on forever. It's a combination of, and it's happened, if you get a heavy rain in there, it's gotta be a pretty heavy rain. But he's bearing the brunt of all this and he hasn't created any of it. They never should have allowed Peterson to dig that pond. Never. It's not deep enough. It's not maintained now. I mean, he's a wild, he works for EDP Renewables and the DNR, so.
Riley does?
Huh?
Mr. Riley
Riley
does.
does, yes. I mean, he's subcontracted by both of those people. So for $3,100, we had Cobalt come in and say, Cobalt and somebody else, and they looked around and said, well, if you dig the cattails out of there and get them out by the roots, the water will start flowing earlier rather than staying dammed up there until it gets so high and then flows over. That's when it backs up all through there.
Will they take out, if they would take out the cattails in the channel and behind the structure, that might work. If they take them out of the channel without removing them behind,
No,
if you don't
he
take them
wants-
all, you don't get, you
He wants
don't.
to take them out, he wants them all to be taken out.
If he wants them all taken out, I'm not opposed to helping him on that front, as long as he wants them all out. Taking part of them out's not gonna help
He
anything.
wants them all out.
I would suggest he needs to contact me.
Okay.
And I've not been able to find a phone number on him. I thought I had it and I don't.
What's this lead to in pond
Maintenance.
maintenance all over the county?
What's that?
If we start doing this, what's this lead to in pond maintenance all over the county?
The one at the Beechler Pond at Boundary Pike and Greenville Pike, it has the same issues. The county ditch opens up into it and the county ditch comes out of it. The difference is Beechler never vacated the ditch. This is the only place that I've got a pond where a legal drain comes in, a legal drain goes out, but we did away with the legal drain on the property.
That exempts us.
Here's the problem. They still pay ditch assessment because their water still has to go to the Sugar
Riley
Creek
does?
to the outlet. Oh, yeah.
But everybody pays ditch assessment.
Everybody pays ditch assessment. Now, the real kick in the pants on this thing is by drainage law, the thing that's been the real challenge here, he's obstructing a legal drain, that gives me the right to work on it. It's still, because they vacated it, it's still private property. As long as he's willing, I'm all for going in and taking them out. But like I say, I need some communication with him. And,
I mean, I'm a little hesitant of taking care of his problem on his property that's been vacated out of our authority
that's the
by
challenge. here.
design. So really, I mean, I'm not saying the cattails don't need to go. I would think that the cattails need to go under his requirement, whether we help or not. You're not allowed to back up water on somebody else.
And
And me as a private homeowner, if I'm doing it, I've got to take care of my own problem.
you have to take care of your own pond.
So he needs to take care of
But
this.
do you have 300 people draining into it?
Right.
That's
He
the
is-
challenge.
You mean for the
He's
pack,
one who's-
right, for the ditch assessment?
The only
Um,
reason I brought this up is right now, I think he's the only alternative to try to get some of that water moving through there. And you're talking farmland being flooded, farm ground being flooded.
The only ground
Can I
that's,
just finish without being interrupted one time? Then you're talking about the wedding venue being totally underwater, their parking lot. And I'm not sure that isn't where some of this started a little bit.
that water
I
has
don't know.
always came there.
Yeah, but you couldn't see it because it was a junkyard and had all those.
Well, you had
trees and
junkyard for retention pond.
Right,
And
you had a junkyard for a retention pond.
now,
Then it goes over into some of it to Critch's farm, so he's doing his own over there, trying to keep cutting into that ditch that leads away going north from his property. Then you're seeing the golf course, and we gotta do it for I don't care what you do for the golf course, but it's flooded, the Pony Nine is flooded. And so, it doesn't matter, you can play on the other two 18s or other two 9s, so it isn't a big deal to him, except that those corn stalks, he spends about $1,000 every time you have a rain.
but he's had to do that forever. That's not changed.
Well, it wasn't like that when I first moved in there. I can tell you that, there weren't corn stalks coming through there.
Well, part of the corn stalks are the change in agriculture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's farm practices changed. What I find him interesting, and I'm not disputing anybody there, but the guy that owns the ground beside the wedding venue and the old elevator, the most of the corn stalks that come in are coming in off Critch's across the road there by the old highway barn. Owens has left that in grass. He got about 2 acres of grass he's left there, which should be catching that stuff and slowing it down. There's enough volume when it moves and comes across, it flows till it gets to the culvert. The water from the wedding venue, the retention pond there, actually overflows and goes to the culvert to the west. We put a 15-inch tile in there to get that water over there to get into that open ditch instead of overloading the tile that was full coming in there, coming onto the golf course. Like I say, corn stalks move every other year. And it's an aggravation everywhere. I mean, we set dumpsters in farmland because of that. Haven't had to for a couple of years, but we used to do that regularly. If I could patent a way to fix that, I'd have a real retirement job.
I think the next step for us on this is you and Mr. Riley.
I think so.
But I have a problem with Mr. Riley saying, yeah, I got a problem, but you fix it. I have a
He
problem
hasn't
with
done that.
Okay.
He really hasn't
Fair
done
enough.
that. All people are trying to do is try to find some kind of solution to it's not gonna back up onto that farm ground, it's not gonna back up in the wedding venue, and they have a wedding that night. You say, well, big deal, they built it there, whatever, but.
The thing is, his pond is not causing anything at the wedding venue.
No,
It's
no.
below grade. Below grade.
But if you could open that up, that overflow up, and get those cattails out of there, I'm gonna disagree with you, because I've seen it when there wasn't that. This only started since these cattails and all this stuff, and the other stuff have grown up. And then there's places where the golf course has 12-inch drainage tiles, and then the county put in 8-inch tiles, so it goes 12 to 8 too, or also.
There's no 8-inch tile there.
Okay, I was told there was, so,
No, it's a 12.
okay.
It should have been a 24, but they put in 12. No, I can say it's, I say he needs to come see me. If we didn't have 500 acres upstream of him draining through here, I'd tell him to take a flying leap. But
Does it come through the Pony Nine before it gets to his pond?
Yeah.
yeah, the golf course's main pond, their big pond at the end,
I see it. You
is
see the actual drain is 3 foot below.
yeah. Well, the other problem is they built this pond. When the pond was built, the water level in that pond is 2.5 feet above the tile that used to go through.
They never should have let them build that.
Yeah,
Well,
let me ask a hypothetical question. Let's say all this was to work out perfectly, the water opens up, the flow opens up. Do we just fill this pond up with corn stalks?
well, you might as well, because there won't be any fish in it.
I just meant, will everything that is a problem coming backwards just be pushed a little farther towards him, and then what we do?
Actually, the corn stalks will never get there because the way the
That's
golf
my
course is
question.
designed, they'll not
They
leave.
won't get across 40?
No.
Not very likely. They gotta go through what, 3 ponds to get there? And,
Yeah.
and the pond,
They usually come up and then they can't get through the smaller, they've got those big tiles, but they can't go get clogged through there a little bit. Then they just float up onto the banks, way off. Like
usually they
on
float
each
up
side
to
of
the high
house.
level, and then as water recedes, the corn stalks lay. The golf course is a fine place to catch that because their ponds fill up and then go down as the water goes out. The big pond at the end overflows onto 40 on a regular basis. Truth be known, that's really not hurting anybody. They've designed it it doesn't erode, doesn't cause any trouble. The road is stable enough, it works. They don't want to spend the money to put in $100,000. They don't want to spend $100,000 on a new structure. I don't blame them. It's working without it. But the whole thing barely works when everything is right. You add the obstruction at the bottom and it makes it work even less. But at best, it barely works. And like I say, we had a hearing. I went through all that once. I'm grumpy about it.
It's gotta be a pretty big rain to cause any troubles.
Yeah, and when we have big rains, those are no
Everybody
troubles
does.
because of the population, but there's water running over roads, it just gets wild out there for
Yeah, it does.
4 to 12
When
hours.
the water's running across 40, I can take you to half a dozen other places you can drive through water.
Oh, that's before you leave the Ridgeville area.
that's not counting the 14 places at Ridgeville.
Okay, well, I think Missy, on your concern, I think let Ed get this guy, let's have some talks and see
Yeah.
what's really right and what's really wrong, and what's convenient, and what he should pay for. You know, if he doesn't want to and refuses to, where do we stand? Do we? I mean,
Well, if more than likely, it's not what, it's gotta be a mixture of what is he willing to pay and what can he afford to pay. This
I
guy,
don't think the affordability is part of this. We
No,
could have
it's
that
not.
argument across the county on every pond.
right,
that has
well,
it. It's who's responsible for this.
and like I
I
say,
think- I'm sorry, I can't see.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Well, if he does all that, is his pond gonna be the pond he wants? Because once you clean that out, like you said, all of his fish is gonna be gone.
this is the ongoing headache with this thing. Like I say, I would have recommended it not been built when it was built. I wasn't here. I don't think my predecessor actually recommended it. I don't know exactly how they got it done, but I've got a book
It
this
was
thick.
city property then, because the city approved it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was. It was in the city, and they rezoned it.
Well, it's still in the city.
I would advise him not to put the fish in the yard.
Yeah, it is in, maybe it was in the country, but one
There's
way or
plenty of
another.
reasons to.
I don't know when it was annexed.
I don't either.
I think it was annexed with the golf course.
I know the golf course was really against it.
Well, the golf course should have bought it.
Well, I've always had this fishing license, fish your own home, you're pretty good.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah. What we were sideboarding there is, we should be careful whose fish is whose fish when it's fed by a creek. It's kind of like saying deer get in my little woods or my deer, they're not. Then I have to have a hunt license. Anyway, yeah, I mean, on that particular, subject. Anything else?
No.
Ed, Missy, have anything?
No.
Tom? Somebody make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
We have a motion to adjourn, we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all those in favor, step up saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.